Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. The topic for this video is inspired by Jason Mr. Fisherbike. He is holding a contest and wants us to do a video response talking about either who we inspired to start a YouTube channel or who inspired us to start our YouTube channel. Now, I don't think I was directly involved or influenced anyone to start their YouTube channel, possibly indirectly from someone watching my videos and my channel, but I'm not aware of reaching out to a specific person or collector and saying, hey, you should start your own YouTube channel. So I'm going to talk about the person who inspired me to start my YouTube channel. Now, Jason only wants us to talk about one person, but I do have to give an honorable mention to John Mangini. John and this other person, those were the first two channels that I really started watching once I discovered that YouTube had all these channels and content related to collecting sports cards. So I do want to give a shout out and thanks to John Mangini for partially inspiring me to start my YouTube channel. But the person I want to give a shout out to is Mike Baseball Collector. Now, I didn't reach out to Mike directly when I was thinking of starting a channel. So I didn't say, hey, Mike, I'm a follower of your channel. I think you're doing great videos. I wonder if you could help me and give me some pointers in starting my own channel. But just through watching his content, how he did his videos, how he presented cards, how he talked about them, and again, sort of indirectly, the way he collected vintage baseball cards or collects vintage baseball cards. At the time I started my YouTube channel, I was still heavily involved in collecting Boggs cards primarily, but I wanted to move into collecting vintage baseball cards. And Mike's channel just hit everything that I was interested in. And I really liked the way that Mike approached collecting vintage baseball cards. So he was focused on collecting all the Hall of Famers from a particular vintage set. And when I first started thinking about expanding my vintage baseball card collection, I was lost at where to start. You know, there's so many vintage cards out there. Do I concentrate on one player or one set, or do I want to get graded cards, ungraded cards, things like that? And just watching Mike's approach on how he was building his vintage baseball collection for years really hit me in terms of, hey, this is a great approach to take. So I did follow and mimic in a way Mike's approach to collecting the vintage cards. So I really had a tie there. And again, seeing Mike do his videos, his mail day videos talking about vintage, I thought, hey, I have a Boggs collection, so I can start with that. And I thought, hey, if Mike can do it, if John Mangini and others that I saw, if they can do these types of videos, why not me? So that sort of inspired me to start my YouTube channel. And again, early on, it was very heavily focused on my Boggs collection. But then as I started buying some vintage cards, that has sort of taken over, even though my channel is called Boggs fan, my vintage card collection and discussions and topics about vintage cards have sort of taken over the majority of my YouTube content, even though I still do some videos about my Boggs collection, both my cards and memorabilia. But another reason why I want to give Mike a shout out is it didn't just end with Mike inspiring me to start a channel. Over the years, I've been on doing YouTube content, not quite 4 years now, but it's I think in January it's going to be 4 years. I'll have been making content on my channel. And over those 4 years, Mike has become what I consider a good friend of mine. In fact, he was responsible for an early jump start of my channel. It wasn't my first video. I think maybe it was 5 or 6 videos in. I did a video on how I store my Wade Boggs collection. It was basically focused on my card catalog. Well, he saw that video. I don't think he was subscribed to my channel at the time, but he saw that video, did a shout out on his channel about my video, and that's one of my top viewed videos of all time. And it immediately got my channel some attention, got some subscribers, followers, and sort of gave a big jump start to my channel. So I'm forever grateful of Mike for giving me a shout out on his channel, who had so many subscribers, and pointed them in my direction. But beyond that, in terms of my friendship, I've reached out to Mike several occasions, especially at the Nationals, for some advice on buying certain vintage cards, and he has taught me the art of negotiation. Not to say that I didn't know how to negotiate at all, but for the few card shows I would go to, mainly the National, I still would never pay sticker. I mean, I knew there was always negotiating going on, but I don't think I was maybe aggressive enough. I guess that's the way of putting it in terms of my negotiation. And over the years, Mike has just instilled on, the art of negotiation. Start really low, something that, may be not quite insulting to the seller, but start really low, see where their low level is, and work from there. And it worked out for me in a few occasions at this past year's National. In fact, I forget which card it was, but I was telling Mike about it and how I negotiated and where I started off and stuff like that. And he sort of gave me like a little nod or wink of saying, yeah, you're starting to pick it up. And of course, he has worked with me on some collaborative efforts on my channel, mainly the Vintage 100 Index. I was watching his video. He was talking about how vintage cards are or are not recession proof, things like that. And he had wished that someone out there would do some sort of tracking of card values and stuff. And that's right down my alley. So I decided to, sort of take the mantle and do that on my own. And he's like, hey, I'd love to be a part of that. So obviously, most of you know Mike and know that he is a huge supporter of the YouTube community and other channels. And so I just want to give a big thanks and shout out to Mike, Baseball Collector, for inspiring me to start this great and amazing journey that I started nearly 4 years ago on YouTube when I created my channel. So Jason, thanks for doing this awesome contest. I know you love to do contests, and a great idea for a video topic. With that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.